a couple of things to bring up to speed with. So first of all, our dumbbells down here, we've done some repair work and upgrades. These things are the sliders which separate each of the plates. Now, that looks fairly nondescript and unimportant, but I've had these blocks through 4 gyms and around about 15 years. And these sliders have been replaced. These are brand new. These are the only wearing components on the entire dumbbells, and they slide in and out to represent the different weights you can use down here. Now, if you don't use them, that's irrelevant, but that's actually quite a big deal because that holds all the plates very securely together. And the parts are still available. These are called power blocks from the US. They're very expensive when I got them. They still are. So that's just a quality increase. That's something I felt needed to be done. They hadn't been replaced in 15 years. They've been replaced. Commensurately, equipment that you would never notice or pay much attention to, but I do. The ABS jaws here, which are on the bench press, which basically hold the barbell in place and separate the barbell from the metal arm. Probably can't get a great view of that in this light, but they've been completely replaced, and they are a wearing component. They are worn down quite low after 5 years. They've been completely replaced as well, including all the bolts around it. So I felt that was a really important move, just again for the quality assurance. You might have also noticed the rubber band or the band going down the bench. Not sure what that's for. Basically what that is for, if you're wearing a loose shirt, as your back slides down against the bench, it'll grip more to the rubber and you won't move around. You'll be more secure on the bench. Of course, you can just move them to the side and take them off, but they don't really, you may feel them underneath your clothing, but they are a benefit because they keep you more secure on the bench. Vinyl, which is a very popular, easier to clean substance on benches, isn't terribly great when you're trying to get tight on a bench press because you slip and slide around on the vinyl. So that rubber is for that reason, in case you didn't know. A couple of things up here. I've got a new strap, which predominantly that'll just be used for leg curls. This arrangement here with the chain system is used for leg extensions. Now, most people won't be using either of those two things. I use them in coaching all the time. So if you're not sure what they're for, well, you probably don't need to use them, but if you did want to use them, just ask me. This one here is used for ab crunches, which is also used with that Hue and Pine block over there. If you've not done them, they're a fantastic abdominal movement. But again, so most of those 3 components there are very bespoke, specialised solutions. Of course, the multi-grip handles can be used for any time, for whatever movement. The tricep pushdown and hammer curl pull-up, which is the main reason for this use, that's a new unit. I've replaced the older one with a better type of quality. That's a crimp lug at the end, so when the handle slides down, it hits the crimp lug, and that crimps very tightly against the rope. So that's, with all intents and purposes, going to take 50, 60 kilos overall without any difficulty whatsoever. However, many of us are doing much heavier lifts, so I've done a bespoke solution there and designed my own system, which uses this kind of system, which I'm still experimenting with, to try and get more of a ball grip with the hand. And that ball grip feels really comfortable, allows your fingers to go either side of it, depending on what type of movement you're doing, or your hands to come down on top and grip and push into it, or partial, a bit of both, where your thumb is on top but your fingers are around. There are different reasons why you should have those grips, but they all play a part. Now, this system could take 200-300 kilos, much more, in fact, very easily. There's also a swivel system in the middle, so it takes all the pressure off the wrist. So if the chain kinks further up, that has no effect because this is free to turn independently. Okay. Also, this whole system here can be adjusted, and you can just have one by itself. Just take that off, or you can reduce the links, come up, clip it over, and shorten the distance. Now, again, if you're not lifting extremely heavy weights for that system, it doesn't matter. Use this baby, little one. If you're using the ball and chain, which is what I call it, That's for much heavier movements. It's also really good for a glute movement as well, called a glute pull-through. Okay, so moving right along to the other side, the two main systems we've got here, we've had for quite some time, is the wide grip pull-down, which is this system, which also has these swivel hooks or swivel links. The close grip now has its own swivel link, so again that takes pressure off the wrist. We've got a collection of carabiners over here. Our PTs also use these. These ones are new. I've got 6 of these. These are rated to 12 kilonewtons, which is around a ton at least. What that allows you to do though is it's a quick release. So some of these systems have, such as this one, made by the same company, they have a lock clamp, which you just thumb tight, but that just takes a little bit longer. These are Outmates, okay? But they're very good, really good lighter weight carabiners, but still, again, very strong, rated at 12 kilonewtons. And this one is also rated at, as I said, 12 kilonewtons, voila, but it's a quicker release. So that's often used if you're doing lighter weight movements and you just want to get them on faster. I use them quite a lot with the strap type systems. Okay, so these are hang around should you need them. I'm going to update the supports for the knees very soon. That's going to go to a better insulated system here, or upholstery system. I've also replaced the rubber seat or the rubber top of the riser here. This is now brand new. That's a thick density foam. It's a high quality one I had before. This is from Bunnings, the last one I had from Kmart. So that's just really comfortable. I've used this also over on the safety squat or the handlebar squat. I've wrapped it around here. That adds more insulation around the back of the neck and top of the shoulders, and it really feels incredibly comfortable with heavier weights again, because it pushes right into and shapes almost like a memory foam. Now the existing upholstery is fine, but that's more of a canvas protected system, and it's a bit tight. At higher levels, it's just a bit rough against someone's skin if you're wearing more of a skin tight type of top, or maybe like me with a stringer top. Okay, so on the final run, a couple more bespoke solutions which I use for very specific things. So over here underneath the bench section, I've got a handle system set up here, which I use almost entirely for coaching on leg curls. It's a very specific thing to leg curls. If you had a reason for using it, you could use it, but I doubt that you would. So that's, again, specialised equipment. Over here, now it looks like a fairly complicated setup, a fair bit of chain. There's 2 handles here. There's swivel links in the middle here. There's a fair bit going on with that. That chain system actually connects up to either of the arms up high, and I use this bench. And basically, it's a seated chest press, and the chains run off down into the weight system. You grab the handles, you sit here, and you do basically a seated chest press. So rather than doing a lying bench press, you do a seated chest press. And why is that a big deal? Well, it's proprietary again, it's bespoke. It's something I found for people who don't necessarily feel comfortable laying down. Being in a seated position is great. Also, because I can adjust the chain up and down, I can get varying angles very quickly. Also, the seat can be adjusted forward and back, again, varying the angle very quickly. And I find it's an extremely effective alternative for a bench barbell. We can do flat bench style, decline bench style, and incline bench style. So I've got a couple of clients who are using that, and it's really, really effective. But again, there's nothing made, so I've made it. So those are bespoke solutions are just something I think are useful and beneficial. So rather than wait for somebody else to make them, I'll make them myself. That's about it. So I wanted to keep you updated on every all the upgrades we're doing, particularly in regards to repairs and so forth, because over the winter period I'm going to refine and refine and refine, make everything safer, more effective, more efficient, easier for you to use. But also, should you want to experiment and do variations on your program, I can explain these systems to you, I can show you how to use them, and you can incorporate them into your own programs. Okay. All right, everyone, take care, and I'll talk to you again soon.